Hello. We've taken these Bitcoin miners out of the greenhouse since it's warming up, and I want to come up with something different to do for next winter. And the idea I had was that in order to save space, because what we did this time, remember they had that big soundproof box and I was eating up most of the greenhouse. My thought is if I can get rid of these fans in the tube and just run the hash boards and the control board, I can fit those into an aquarium. I can actually fit all three of these Bitcoin miners into one aquarium. And so the idea I had was, let me go ahead and draw what we're going to do here, is we have the pond, and then there'll be a pump in the pond that's pumping water into a copper coil, and the copper coil will be inside of this aquarium. And in the aquarium will be the 3 hash boards, well, the 9 hash boards, because there's 3 Bitcoin miners and the 3 control boards. And the output of this coil will go to another line. This line will go into another coil, which is inside of insulated ducting, and then the output of that will then go back into the pond. And so what this does, and then this insulated ducting will have a fan on it, which will pull air in from outside of the greenhouse. Okay, so what this will allow me to do is I can now have a control for the pump. I can have control for the Bitcoin miners, all 3 of them, and I can have a control for the fan. And what this lets me do is if I need to heat up just the water, I could turn on the pump and the Bitcoin miners. The water will heat up and it'll come back into the pond. If I need to heat up the water and the greenhouse, I can turn on the pump and the Bitcoin miners and the fan. And so the water will go into the Bitcoin miners, then warm up. And then it will go into here and the fan will blow air over it, which will warm up the air in the greenhouse. And I can actually use this to cool the water. So if the water is getting hot in the summer, I can not turn the Bitcoin miners on, run the pump, and run the fan to pull air from outside the greenhouse, which will be cooler than the air in the greenhouse. I can use that to cool the water in the aquarium, in the pond. So that's what we're going to do. Now, in order to run this in oil, we need to trick this hash board into thinking that these fans are on. Because if you pull the fans off and you run the hash board, it'll detect that there's no fan and it'll automatically shut off. It will assume there's a fan failure. So in order to trick this hash board into thinking that the fans are connected, we're going to have these pulse generators. And what these do is these generate a signal at a programmable rate, and we'll actually have them putting a pulse into the hash board, or into the control board, to make it think that the fans are running. It will set it at a frequency where it thinks the fans are running at full speed, so that it won't shut off. Now, in order to do this, can you open one of these up for me, Robbie?
Sure.
Robbie's going to be preparing these pulse generators today.
Hi. Hard to open packet.
Yeah, another one. Is that one too
I
tough?
think this one's too tough.
Here, try this one. We got a bunch of them here. We only need 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at this real close here before we get started. If you look at this, you can see that on this side we've got pulse wave 1 ground, pulse wave 2 and ground. And so these pulse waves, I'm going to connect those to the yellow sense cable on the control board, and of course ground goes to ground. And then over on this side we have voltage in, positive, and ground. And so we'll pull those off of the control board. This will operate at the same voltage as the control board. And then we'll program it to generate pulse to make it think that the fan is running. In order to do that, we're going to have to put header pins on the side that has 4 and on the side that has 2. So we're going to do these header pins. Robbie, why don't you hold the camera while I get you some pins ready here.
Okay.
So what we're going to need is, oops, I got 3 that time.
Yeah. Very hard to break these.
2 on one side and 4 for the other side. We're going to do one in this video, but we're actually off camera. We're going to do all 3 of these, and then we'll show you how they look at the end. But I'm going to show you, Robbie's going to show us how to do one of these on camera. Okay?
Yep.
And he's going to be very careful. He's doing the soldering today.
Yep.
So why don't you go ahead and get started and describe what you're doing, okay? And just be careful not to burn yourself, right?
Okay. So basically, as you guys know, I'm going to solder these on here.
Okay.
And you don't have to use this, but if you want to keep these straight and not dirty, because this tape the blackness from it can go on the things, you can use this.
Okay. This is little sockets. Okay.
And basically, you put.
And now these sockets, let me go ahead and show you where those come from. You got these big long ones you can get. They usually come with the header pins. And you just cut off the number you need. We cut off 5 here, I think, right?
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
And then you just stick
the pins in
the
there.
pins in, and then keep them straight and not dirty from the tape.
Okay, cool.
And then the tape.
What's the tape?
Let me just get a piece of it real quick. I'll tell you while I'm getting a piece. The tape is for when I'm soldering the pins, and this piece, the socket, won't go like flying when I'm soldering.
Yeah, you don't want that, and then your solder gun will hit the stuff and burn everything, and you get an ugly soldering job.
Yep. And I'll probably get burnt.
Yeah, we don't want any burning today.
Yep.
So, safety first. Always watch what's going on with that hot iron, okay?
Yep.
And then whenever you're done soldering, make sure you give it a chance to cool, because it's going to be super hot right afterwards. Okay?
Yes, really hot.
Yeah.
So, I prefer the 2 pins, but of course you can start with the 4 pins. But I prefer to start with the 2 pins because it's the easiest one.
Okay.
So you see the short pieces.
Okay, let me see.
With the wire.
Yeah, see it? Yep.
You put those in these holes right here.
Okay, that's the voltage in the ground. Yep.
This.
Yep.
And then these long pieces, these long wire pieces.
Yep.
You don't want them sticking to the you don't want them sticking like this.
Because it'd be hard to get the plug on there if you did that, yeah.
Yeah. You want them sticking on the outside like... Hold on. Like this.
Cool. Alright, hold that with your thumb while you get that socket on there too.
Okay.
Or with your finger, that's fine too.
I can probably get this on.
It'd be a little bit harder without holding it. But you got it. Nice job. Alright.
And then
make sure it's in there
at
good.
this point, yeah, you want to make sure it's good. You can pull it out and tug on it a little bit. It's in there.
Okay. Make sure it's on the board good too.
Yep.
That's what the tape's for, right?
And then you take the tape. At this point, you take the tape and you put it over like this.
Tape it good.
Now, the most recommended tape for this is this came out. Is electrical tape, because it will burn, but it takes a long time to burn, from what I've heard.
Yeah, and it won't catch fire on you very easy.
Yes. And
but
you can use like other tapes that are fireproof and.
Yeah, we don't want any fires today, so we're gonna use electric tape. All right, let's get this guy out of your way so you don't get poked by him. All right, let me hold this for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure.
Now be very careful with that heat. Always watch where that iron is.
Now we have this silver bearing.
This is solder. Soldering. Yeah, just soldering wire. Yeah.
Yeah, soldering wire.
Yeah.
And you're gonna want to take a long piece of this, but don't cut it off. Just keep it on there, and then.
Okay.
Oh, I thought the light turned off.
Yeah, it's very hot. Be careful with it. Okay.
Yes, and then you're gonna want to. So don't put the wire on first, and then the iron.
Kind of do them at the same time. Read the iron a little earlier.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn up your board if you hold it on there too long.
Yeah, and then you're going to want to press down a little bit to heat it up. And then once you think it's heated up enough, make sure you see that little square?
Yeah.
Put a lighting on it.
Yeah.
And that peg,
Uh-huh.
you're going to want to put, you don't put it in the middle like this. You put it like
On the side.
that, like on the side, to where the iron touches both the square and the peg.
Okay.
And then let it sit for like a couple seconds, let it heat it up.
All right. Doesn't take too long.
Yep. And then with the metal, I'm like taking it off.
The soldering wire.
Yeah. I'm taking it off because I don't want it
Yeah.
burned.
Now you're talking.
Um.
Now, I want to show you something what I like
Yeah.
to do, Robbie. I like to make a little hook on that.
Oh, you do?
Makes it a little bit easier to get it on there.
Oh.
Give that a shot.
And basically, once this is heated up enough, you'd put the wire on the other side of the peg. Don't put it on the tip, because then the metal will just get stuck on the tip. So you're gonna put it on the other side, let it heat up for a couple seconds, and then you're gonna
see how that works. Is that any better or is that harder?
I don't know. I like it kind of like that.
Yeah.
Is it melting?
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Go to the
It's
next
a little
one.
bit too much.
That's fine. Let's go to the
That's
next
fine.
one.
The next one, the reason, I don't know why the solder has lights on it. I think it's for like if
So
you're
you can see what you're doing.
Yeah, if you're working in a dark place and you want to see what you're doing so you won't burn your hand.
All right. Let's see how that looks. Oh, those are good. Look at that up close.
That's probably one of my first good ones. That's
Yeah,
probably
that
one of
wasn't
my
too
first
bad.
good ones.
That wasn't too bad, man. All right. Let's let that cool a bit before you try moving on.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about what you're going to do next, okay, while that cools a bit.
So then I'm going to take the tape and the... Now at this point I'm going to get another piece of tape because at this point it's not really that sticky. So I'm just going to get another piece of tape real quick here.
Okay.
And then you'll
Make
do
sure
the
it's
same...
long enough.
Yeah. And then you'll do the same thing like you did with the 2s, but you're doing it on 4s.
Oh yeah, four pins, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably enough, right?
Yeah, maybe a little longer, just be sure. That's probably good, yeah.
That's probably good. Then cut it. If you drop it like that, make sure you don't drop it on these because these can bend really easily.
That's true. Excuse me.
And that's what this thing's for.
You're right.
Yeah, it's still hot.
It's too hot for you? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's give it a chance. You can blow on it if you want to cool it a bit.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay.
Yeah, this stuff dries very fast, but just let it cool for a bit.
Especially if it took you a while to solder, then it might have picked up a lot of heat. It's going to take a while to cool.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
Alright, we can see.
But the metal
how
dries
those
very
pins-
fast.
See how those pins look? Ah, yeah, look at that. Nice and straight. They look really good.
And they're shiny.
Alright, let's take a look at those beads again. Yeah, good job on those. Alright, let's do the other ones. So we're not doing those 3, right?
Yes, we're not, because
It's like transmit and receive. I think it's for reprogramming it if you had a circuit that needed to do that.
ground, and then some other ones I don't
I think
know.
it's TX and RX. Let me actually look at that. That's interesting. Let me take a look.
RX and then TX.
Yeah, RX and TX mean receive and transmit. So that's probably if you want to program it to do stuff, you can use those. But we're not doing that today.
Yeah, we're tricking it.
All we're doing on this one is we're just going to use this functionality that comes with right out of the box.
Put these in here like this.
Okay.
And I'm just going to set this down because it's easier to put this thing on.
Okay.
Just do it like that. Very spiky. You're not going to want to get poked.
Yeah.
I've gotten poked before and it doesn't feel good.
Alright, let me have that if you're done with that one.
And then, like you did before on the 2s, get the tape. I think this was too long.
It'll be fine. You just leave the edges hanging over there.
Definitely too long. Or I could just fold the edges.
No, just leave them hanging over. It's fine. Not gonna hurt anything. All right. Let me hold that for you.
Okay.
All right. This time we got 4. So this is a little more work. All right. Go ahead and get your wire out. Let's see here.
I have to roll this up now.
All right. Get unrolled on you, huh?
Yeah, a lot.
All right. That's probably good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
About this length you're going to want to have so you can move your hand back once
that's true.
your hand gets closer to the solder iron.
Okay. Be careful. It's hot. Watch where it's pointing.
Don't want to point it towards your eye or your skin or your hair. Hair's most dangerous.
See what we're doing here.
So, like the 2s, you're going to want to heat this up.
Okay.
Oh, no, but it always moves on
good.
me.
Get it on the pin there.
No, it's not good yet.
Start getting a little bit closer to the iron when you do it. There you go.
It's good?
Yep. On the pin.
Oh.
Yep, that's good. Alright, go ahead
I
and...
also got on here.
Okay, go ahead and put the extra on there, would you? Okay, that's fine.
It's
gonna
like
be hot.
stuck to the tape. It's
fine.
literally... Oh
We'll
my
get it.
goodness.
Don't burn
It's
yourself.
literally stuck to
Alright,
the
pay
tape.
attention to what you're
It's
doing.
not
Don't
hot,
burn
though.
yourself. Okay. Okay. Good job.
Yeah, I can't really see it because of the solder iron, so... It's not the camera.
Kind of have to do it by feel.
Yeah. I think my hand's a little bit too close. And also I can do it by you.
Okay.
I think that was too much.
That's fine. Move on to the next one. It's not gonna hurt anything. They gave you lots of room on these guys, so they're not bridging too bad. Okay, let's see how that looks.
That's good.
Alright. Yeah, we got quite a bit on there, but that's fine. They're not bridged. They're all connected. Okay. So this time we're gonna let that cool because you actually had that heat on there for quite a while.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be super hot. Let's go ahead and leave that down like that so it doesn't burn the table.
And then after I take these off, we're probably gonna do the rest of them off camera.
Yeah, we'll do the rest of them off camera, but whenever we're done, we'll show what they all look like at the end.
Yep.
So while that's cooling, I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to do in the next video.
And also there was a piece of...
We got these...
yeah, on your arm.
Yeah, we've got these fan plugs. And so the thought is we can actually hook these up onto some wires. I got a whole bunch of wires here. Hook these up onto some wires, and then these plugs will plug right down into the fan here. So be able to connect the other end over to the pulse wave generator. And so they'll just plug right in on the top here. The wires will plug right in on the top, and the control board will actually be powering it, so it won't even need its own power supply. So that should work out pretty good. We'll give that a shot. But we're gonna have to. These plugs take a little while to do, so we might do that off camera. But also, I'll kind of show you how that looks. So, but let me go ahead and draw up what we're gonna do with those. So, if you look at.
You draw with one hand.
Yeah. If you look at, actually, why don't you go ahead and do the camera here. If you look at one of the fan plugs, what they do is they have some fins on one side. And you got 4 pins in there, and the one furthest to the left, if the fins are pointing up, first left is ground. Then we have plus voltage, and then we have the sense.
Sorry if the camera's a little wacky. I'm trying to take off.
And then we have control.
I'm trying to take off this tape while
Okay.
I'm filming.
So this one is black. Here, let me go ahead and hold that for you. Let me get that. Alright, let's see how this looks. Yep, those came out good. A little bit extra solder on the back, but it's okay, they're not bridged, so I think that'll work out just fine.
Yep.
Alright, so let me show you what we're going to do here.
And
We're
it holds
gonna,
it in place a little bit better.
the one furthest to the left is black, and that's ground.
You want me to film now?
I can go ahead and do this.
Okay.
And then plus voltage, that one's red. The sense is yellow. And control is blue. So basically what we'll have is we'll take the wire that connects to the black wire that connects to the ground. That'll connect to the ground on the pulse wave generator here. So where it says VIN minus, that's where that'll connect. It'll also connect to the two ground wires on this side. And then red, where the pin that goes into the red wire, for the red wire, will connect to VIN plus. And then where it says pulse wave 1 and pulse wave 2, each of those will get a yellow wire. They'll go to two different plugs, so we'll have a yellow plug going to these. So that'll allow us to hook this. Well, essentially have two plugs I'll hook up to this pulse wave generator. We'll be able to simulate two fans with it. Alright, so anything you want to say before we go ahead and finish these other two off, and then we'll start recording after we're done?
See you in a bit.
Alright, see you in a bit. Hello everybody, we're back.
Hi, and we finished these 3 pulse wave generators off camera. You can look at them.
Okay, cool. And what are we going to do next?
We are going to do the wires.
Okay, yeah, we're going to connect wires to these. And what I thought we would do is we would use these little plugs here. Alright. And so we're going to need a 4 plug to go on this side of the pulse wave generator. We're going to need a 2 plug to go on this side of the pulse wave generator. And then we're going to need a 4, another 4, if I can get one out of here.
I think this is correct.
Another 4 will go on the control board, and then one more will go on the control board. So we're going to have, this is what we're going to have that we need to draw. So let's see what you got. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Perfect. Okay. So before we get started drawing, let's make sure we got the colors right. So on the normal fan plug, if the fins are pointing up, the first one's going to be blue.
Which we don't need.
Yep.
So just cross that out.
We don't need the blue because the blue is what controls the fan, tells it how fast to go. We're not going to be using that function. And then the next one is yellow. That's the sense cable. We're going to use that one because that's the one the fan sends down to the board to tell it how fast the fan is running. That's what we're trying to fake.
Like
We're
this?
trying. Let's see what we got. Yep, we're not using blue, but then we're using the yellow. Okay. Next one is going to be red, and that's your positive voltage. That's 12 volts that goes there. And then the last one is black. That's your ground. Or negative volts, if you want to refer to it that way. Okay. And so if we look on here, you can actually see that we're going to actually need 3 black cables because we've got voltage in negative and 2 grounds, and those are all going to take black cables. But we're only going to have 2 plugs coming off of this. 2 plugs connecting to the control board. So one of these is going to have 2 black wires on it. So I've spliced up a wire here. Let me show you what that looks like. Yep, I spliced up this wire so it'll plug into one port on the other end and 2 black cables will come out of it for the other end. And then we have the 3rd black cable here for the other ground. We have 2 yellow cables for the sense cables. We need 2 of those because there's 2 fans. And we need one red cable for the plus 12 volts. Okay, so those are our cables we're going to use, and we're going to plug them into these. Let's go ahead and finish drawing out. Actually, you'll need one more 4, because this is talking about what this is our legend, so we need actually one more 4 to say how we want to wire it up. Okay, alright, cool. So which one do you want to do first?
2.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and put your 2 and put the fins up.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we got. Alright, now turn that around like you have in your drawing. Turn it around like it's pointing the same way in your drawing. Put the fins up and then plug it in. It doesn't matter which direction, but what I'm talking about is like this. It needs to be faced this direction. Okay. Alright, so which one's first? Is it VN plus or VN negative?
VIN plus.
Alright, so the first one's going to be red.
And the next one's going to be
The next one's going to be black because it's VIN negative, which is the same as ground. Red and black. Okay, cool. Alright, let's do the other side of the pulse wave generator. It needs a 4 plug. So plug it in, set it up by your one of your drawings that you're going to use.
Got it.
Oh, that's good. Don't want to lose those.
I'm going to do this.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to draw it on there? Okay, so basically the far left, is it a ground or is it a pulse wave?
A ground and then a pulse wave and then a ground and then a pulse wave.
So it'll be black, yellow, black, yellow.
Black, yellow, black, yellow.
Alright, cool. Okay. Now, for the other 2, actually, you're right. You drew one. We don't need this extra one. This is because you've already drew what these both need to look exactly the same as this. Sorry about that. Well, one of them actually, go ahead and draw one more because one of them's going to have 2 black wires coming off of it.
One
So
more
one of
4?
Oh no, this one's going to have 2 black wires coming off of it. Draw another black. Yep. This is going to have power and it's going to go to the pulse wave. Okay, and then this one is just going to have 2 wires on it because all we need on this one is ground and sense cable. So
Isn't
which
there
one?
like a skip and then a
Yeah, so we skip
ground
the
and a
blue.
skip?
Yeah, we skip the blue, we do a yellow, we skip the red, and we do a black. So we yellow, black. That's what we're looking for. Nope, not that one. That's the black, we need that one. Okay, skipping that one. We don't need the red on this because we already have power from the other one. So we're only going to need power from one of them. Okay. We do need the sense cable. It's next. It's yellow.
Okay. Yellow.
Okay, and then we do not need the blue
Because we're not controlling.
because we're not controlling it.
I said it before you.
Now, if the Bitcoin miner is too smart for us and it knows that we're going too fast, then and it still fails, then we might end up having to write a circuit to use the blue cable. I don't think we need it for now. We're just going to see if we run it at full speed, if it'll be just fine with that. Okay, so we have our legends. Now we need to start wiring them up. So pick whichever one you want and wire it in first. Which one you want to do first? Do the 2? Okay,
Yeah.
it needs a red and a black.
Okay.
And the black that it needs to have is the
One black.
is
The one black. Right?
hang on, let's see. I'm trying to remember what we're doing here.
We're doing the 2. So it
Yeah,
needs
so
the one black.
No, it needs to be one of these. Yeah, because this one is going to have one black going here and one black going here. So it needs to be on this side. This side of the 2 black. One of the legs of the 2 blacks.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, got it?
Right in here is
Got
one
it.
snap.
Remember which way they have to go?
Yeah. Like this.
So which way are you putting them in there?
Curved side goes up towards the wing.
Okay, good.
Pretty sure.
Yep. It snaps in. That's good.
If it snaps in and it's a false alarm, then just tug on it.
Uh-huh. remember which way it has to go in?
Yes.
Is it good? Okay. Let's look in the end to make sure it looks good. Let me see. I'll go ahead and take a look at it here. Yep, that one looks really good. I'll see if I can get to focus it. Yep. See how they have those little metal pieces, ramps in there? Those hold the wire in place. Okay, so what are we doing next?
The one with the black, yellow, black, yellow.
Black, yellow, black, yellow. Okay.
Yellow. The other side.
Did you put them in the right holes?
Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna put this one right here. Okay, that one's good, and then this one right here.
Okay, let me check it over. Here, you go ahead and hold the camera. I didn't hear some of them snap, so I just want to make sure they're in there good.
Yeah, I tugged on 'em.
They're not. They don't look right for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, that thing's way off. That's why.
What's way off?
I think it's supposed to snap it in and not snap. Yeah, it's broken off. So, I'm going to, here, why don't you pause it? I'm going to go ahead and put a new end on this because this one's actually broken.
Okay.
Alright, we're back. Yeah, one of the tips got broken on the wire and we had to fix it. So, if you look, I don't know if I can get this in camera. If you look, there's a little hook on the back of that, and that was way up, and I tried to bend it down and it broke off. So that's actually this one should be good, so we'll give that a shot. Go ahead and try to plug that one in there.
Which one were we doing?
We're doing the yellow, black,
yeah,
yellow.
yeah.
See if that snaps in there.
Yeah, I heard
sounds
it.
like it did. Okay, great. So now we
You guys can check
yeah,
this.
let's go ahead and check this over and get it in focus. Yep, that looks good. You can see all the ramps are pointing the way they're supposed to. Okay?
Do we need this?
Yes, we're putting two more fours. So where are your other two fours?
There's one, there's two.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, which one here? So one of them has two black wires,
doing
a
this
red, and a yellow.
I'm doing this
Oh, you're going to do that one first? One has just a black and just a yellow.
So,
Not this guy. The other black. Yeah. Black and a yellow.
so
But make sure you put them in the right holes.
skip and then a yellow. Make that to snap in. It broke off.
Oh boy.
What the?
Okay, let's go ahead and pause it again. Or if you want to film me doing it, that's fine.
Okay.
I've got to basically pull this out of here.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
gonna
how we're gonna do that.
I think I'm going to use this.
Whoops, it accidentally broke off. And I tried to pull it out, it broke off. Whoops, that broke as well. Well, it didn't break, but it just snapped off.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Actually, I'll just use we'll use a different one for now. We can come back and fix that one later.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. Go ahead and make sure you're not pointing the camera in some random direction.
Okay. Sorry if I was pointing the camera some random direction, guys.
Okay, so we'll do a new one. Yeah, I'll clean that one up some other time, off camera.
Okay.
We're not wasting time.
Okay.
Those are a little tricky to get out if they don't have a wire attached to them.
Yeah, very tricky. I've never done it before, but I've heard it's very tricky. So with the nail nose, isn't it like a lot better?
Yeah, needle nose pliers will do this a lot better, but I didn't get them before we started filming, so we're going to use this guy for now. Okay, make sure our hook looks okay. go ahead and see if that'll work now. I'll grab your camera.
Okay. So it's this. Was this the one with the thunder?
Mm-hmm.
Probably can't hear it in the background, but it's very loud.
Going that time. Seems like it
yep.
did.
And this one?
Yeah, black. Make sure you put it in the right hole.
I heard it snap.
I don't think it did.
Yeah, I heard it snap, but it didn't go all the way. It didn't put it all the way through. I'm afraid this one's also gonna break off.
Make sure you put it in the right hole.
I am.
Okay. Here, you want me to take a look at it?
I think it looks good.
Alright, go ahead and hold the camera. I'll take a look here.
This fell.
It's okay.
This
Go
fell.
ahead and put it over there. Yep, it looks good. Alright, let's do the last one. Now go ahead and show what that looks like, by the way. If I can get it to focus. Got those two ramps in there. They look good. Okay. Last one.
And now the last one is black, yellow, black, yellow.
So 2 blacks.
No, we already did that.
Yeah. 2 blacks, a red, and a yellow.
Okay. So.
Make sure you don't twist up the wires if you can. Try not to anyway.
Okay. This goes here.
Okay.
Did you hear a snap? No, it's not in. Okay, the snap device is good, so it should. Yep, heard a snap. And then we need red. The snap device is good on this one. I felt it like push in, and I tugged on it, so.
Okay. We'll take a look at it when we get
Then
along.
a yellow.
We'll make sure they look good before we try plugging them in.
No, the yellow's not all the way in. Snapping device is good. Yep, I heard that one.
Alright, let's take a look at this.
You guys can take a look at that. Make sure it's good.
Okay, one of them looks a little strange. The second one in, let me take a look at it. Can you hold that?
Okay.
Oh, I think it's just pushed in a little too far is all.
That shouldn't harm anything, right?
No, it should be fine.
Actually, it's a little bit better because it won't fall out that easily.
Alright, this seems pretty good. Alright, let's take a look on the camera here. I'll show everybody what I did. Basically, it was pushed in too far, so I pushed it back a little bit. That should work. We'll give it a shot here, though. Alright, so now what we want to do is plug the cables into one of these pulse wave generators. You got one there, okay? So go ahead and do the. We have basically black, yellow, or not that one. We need black, yellow, or the 2. Make sure you put the fins up.
No, both.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you need to do both of them. Yeah. Sure.
That one's snapped in.
Okay.
It's good. Oh.
Yeah, it won't. It won't. It won't actually snap as long as it's plugged in.
I heard it though. I heard it snap.
But I mean, it'll pull off. It doesn't like get seated in or anything.
Okay.
Make sure the fins are up.
Yeah, fins are up.
Seem okay?
Hold on. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. All right, now the last piece. Let me go ahead and, or you can go and bring it over here. You can do it. We're gonna plug it into the control board.
This
The other
one?
2. Yep. And the fins point toward the plastic. Yep.
And this
And then
one
one more.
goes here.
All right. And the last thing you need to do is take off the plastic cover of your numbers.
I've been wanting to do that for so long.
All right, let's look this over before we start anything up.
That felt really good.
We've got our device here. It's sending out 2 pulse waves down into the control board, and it's being powered by one of the fan plugs on the control board. So this should work. It looks like it'll work anyway. We'll give it a shot here. I just need to make sure that the back here is exposed, all these pins, so I make sure I'm not touching any metal with that. You know what, I might put a little bit of a electrical tape on the back. So once you hold that, I don't want that shorting out while we're around here.
I'll come over here and see if I can get the camera to focus.
Just gonna put a couple of pieces of tape on the back here so nothing shorts out accidentally.
Okay. I want to do one. Can I put one on?
Now let me put 2 on, then you'll put 2, or because these pins are kind of sharp, so just go ahead and put 2 more on top of those. I'm just kind of giving you a template to follow here. So don't wrap it around or anything. Just if it goes over, it's fine. Go ahead and put a couple more pieces on there.
That's probably good. Yeah, I remember. I couldn't take this off.
Oh.
I needed this.
All right.
This part broke.
Okay.
This piece, this over. Yeah, these pins are very sharp, so you don't want to get stabbed by them. It's like almost, they're so sharp it's almost poking through this tape.
That's probably good enough. I think we're good at this point. It's not really sitting on its back, so I think we're fine. I think that'll be enough.
Put one extra one.
Well, if you want to, but
Just in case.
I'm gonna have to put that power cable back on. 'Cause it
My
came off.
question is the electrical tape like electric proof?
Yes, it's also meant to
Fireproof?
withstand some heat. Yeah.
Well, it's not fireproof, but it can withstand some heat.
Yeah. Okay. Right, and hold the camera. I need to get the, or unless you want to do it, I need to get the power cable back in there.
This?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
All right, cool. So I'll just
Wait.
sit.
It seems like
Something's coming off.
yeah.
Here, once you
The
hold this, and
ground
I'll
is-
take a look.
The ground is like coming out, but it won't push in. The ground is
Might be breaking another one here.
like.
Okay. Yeah, I think this one broke. I'll go ahead and put a new one on here. Go ahead and go over there, so I got a little bit of room.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a new end on this black one. This is a good demonstration anyway. We did this part off camera, so you haven't seen how these actually go.
Yeah.
So basically I just
Trying to get the
get a little
camera.
piece of wire on the end, and then you got the plastic, so it grips in 2 places. These little metal things. So you basically put where one grip will grip the wire and one grip will.
And get
Guess
this
the,
camera to focus.
All right, give me the pliers here.
First. Carefully do that on the wire, and then I'm pretty sure you do that on the copper part.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Move the camera.
All right. Just make sure it's holding it good. And then,
Put these over here.
okay, and then it goes in like Robbie said with the curly part toward the wings. That feels a little bit better. Let's go ahead and see if it'll work now.
Yep.
All right, great. Okay, so I
Can
think
you
we're
turn the
ready to
camera?
test. One thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna have to simulate, before we can actually test this, we're gonna have to make sure the fans are actually running, but I don't want them, being controlled by the control board. So I'm just going to power them up separately. I just put 12 volts into the red and ground here for both of these, and this will run both the fans. Once they're up to speed, then I'll turn it on and I'll program the pulse wave generator to generate the correct speed. Actually, before we start, that's a good question for Robbie. So these fans typically run at 6,000 RPM. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now, 6,000 RPM. RPM means revolutions per minute, right?
Yep.
Okay. But we want hertz. So this is going to measure in hertz. Hertz are cycles per second. So we need to convert 6,000 revolutions per minute into seconds. So how many seconds are in a minute?
60.
Okay, 60 seconds in a minute. And if we want to get revolutions in a minute, we got to go 6,000 divided by 60.
100.
Yes, 100. So that would be 100 hertz. Now, these fans actually make a pulse twice every revolution. It's sort of an up and a down, an up and a down. So that's actually, we need to double it. So if we have 100 hertz and we need to double it, what are we going to do?
200.
200 hertz. So we're going to program this to generate pulses of 200 hertz.
And I'm going to the restroom.
All right, so let's go ahead and pause while Robbie goes to the restroom, and we'll resume when he gets back. All right, we're back, and we're going to run our speed test.
Yes.
So, Robbie, go ahead and hold the camera, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to power up these fans manually. And this is going to get really loud, so we're going to have to talk loud over the sound of these fans.
Okay.
So I've got this, I've got these wires hooked up to 12 volts, and I'm just going to power the fans separately from the Bitcoin miner. The control board will not have any connection to these fans. They're just going to be running to actually keep the machine cool.
Before you do it, if you don't really hear our voices that much, these Bitcoin miners are really loud.
Yeah, if you remember, whenever I had this out in the greenhouse, it was in that soundproof box.
Yep.
I think those soundproof boxes worked really well. The noise that you heard was just the vent fan, and those are much quieter than these fans here. What we use is the Permacoustic Broadway in that soundproof box. It completely canceled the high-pitched noises from these fans. All right, anyway, so I'm going to start these fans up, and it's going to get really loud. Starting fan number 1.
Yeah. Starting fan number 2.
Fan number 2
is going in.
coming on right now. All right, we'll give them a few seconds to warm up here before I power on the Bitcoin miner itself. I want to make sure there's a lot of air flowing through this so it keeps cool. All right, we should be running at full speed now.
Okay.
And so now I'm going to go ahead and plug in the control board.
Okay.
All right, now we can program our pulse wave generator. So we're going to go okay, so we got fan 1. Fan 1 needs to be, we said, 200 hertz.
Yes. $200.
200, okay? The duty cycle is just 1. That's how long it's gonna do the pulse for. Just 1, that's fine. Fan number 2, we're also gonna pretend it's going full speed, so it's also gonna get 200 hertz.
Very close to overpassing
Okay.
200.
And then the duty cycle for it is also going to be 1. Okay?
Okay.
So now we should be in good shape. This should be generating 200 hertz for both of those fans. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and restart the Bitcoin miner. Why is there so much of spaces? Okay. Somehow a bunch of spaces got in here. Alright, now. Out here. Okay. Okay, it's loading. Okay, so we're online now. What I need to do, because I set that, I set the pulse wave generator after I started. So actually the first thing I need to do is actually reboot the Bitcoin miner. So we're going to do that first.
Please wait for 90 seconds.
Yep, it's going to wait for 90 seconds.
That's a minute and 30 seconds.
Alright, we're back on. Let's go to the kernel log and see if we can find anything about the fan speed in here. Yeah, it's showing 6,000 RPM, so it actually is working. It's actually picking up the correct speed. We'll give it a little bit here and see if it actually starts hashing. It hasn't started yet. While that goes, Robbie, do you have any questions about what we're doing here? Or any comments or anything you want to talk about while we're waiting for this to start hashing? You want to know what we're going to do next?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, well, we've got next is these, ooh, let's be careful not to unplug that. Alright, what we got next is, these, Wi-Fi switches.
Oh, yeah.
The wireless switches. And these are called Sonoff. It's actually a really cheap brand you can get that are easy to hack. And we're going to hack these and we're going to put Tasmoda on them. It's a operating firmware that can hook into our home automation system. So what we've got is two TH16s. These are for measuring temperature. And we got three POWs. These are for measuring power usage. Okay? We got 3 Bitcoin miners, so I want to measure how much power we're using. And I want to use the temperature. I want to measure the temperature of the pond water. And I want to measure the temperature of the oil. Okay, so that's why I got 2 of those. These will control the pump in the pond, and this one will control the fan. This one will control 1 Bitcoin miner. Each of these will control a Bitcoin miner. So that's why we got 5 of those.
So,
Yes.
I have another question.
Sure, what's up?
Well, it's kind of like 2, but they're the same. They're on the same thing.
Okay.
So, first of all, what are we waiting for, and why are we waiting for it?
Yeah, so what this does is it runs a number of tests before it starts hashing. I want to make sure it's not going to fail. I want to make sure it actually will start hashing, and it does not look like it has. This might be indicating a problem here. Yeah, it's actually offline right now. Let's see what comes on. Okay, came back. This may be I was having a problem with one of these Bitcoin miners, was overheating and it was getting into a boot loop. This may be the one that we have here. Let's see if it'll stay on long enough to actually start hashing. What we're waiting to see is if it's going to fail, which maybe it will.
What's
Or-
hashing mean?
Actually, it's actually going to start mining Bitcoin. Yeah, so it has some error, and has an error counter, so that's not good. Let's see if they have anything in here that's indicating what the error is.
So basically, what is hashing?
It's basically runs a hash function. That's how it finds valid blocks. That's how it runs Bitcoin. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in the kernel log that's going to tell me what went wrong here.
Kernel log.
Okay. Sound card, just not problem. Mining is not found. I don't see any obvious errors in here. Alright, we'll just give it a little bit here and see if it starts hashing or not. Not hashing yet.
Not hashing yet?
No.
Are you trying to wait for it to hash?
Yeah, I'd like to know that it can actually hash and not fail due to a fan error or something. I'm not seeing anything in here about the fan failing.
It says enter error center.
Yeah, but it doesn't say what the error is. We tried doing, okay, so one of the ASICs is bad on here. There should be 63, 63, 63, and I've got one of them that's 62. So I wonder if it's related to that. We'll see here in a minute. This miner may have gone out. I wouldn't have noticed that because this was the third miner in the series. So this one only came on in the really coldest day. So it's possible that it went out and it was not coming on, and I wouldn't have noticed. It's very rare that all three would be running. Go ahead and hit that tab again. Just going to hit it every so often. We may have to run this test on one of the other miners if this one has a problem. Give it a few more minutes here, and then if it doesn't do anything, we'll do one of the other two. It usually takes a few minutes to get started, but this one, it looked like it actually had stopped. Oh, no, it's hashing now. Look at that. So we're actually hashing, and the fan speeds are showing 6,000, 6,000, exactly what we wanted. So it can actually mine, and the pulse wave generator is doing its job. The control board thinks that it's running two fans at 6,000 RPMs each. This is exactly what we were looking for. So I think we're in good shape at this point. There's a different problem with this miner, it looks like, which I'll have to look into. But this basically was the test that we were wanting to run. So I think it was a success. Anything you want to say before we move on?
Yay.
All right, yay. We'll move on to the next part of the video in a little bit. We're going to take a quick break here, turn off this fan that's awful loud, so we want to be able to hear what we're saying. So, hello everybody, we're back. Now we're going to move on to the next piece, which I talked about a little bit, but it was kind of loud, so we'll go ahead and explain real quickly what we're going to do again, just in case it wasn't audible. We've got these things here. Now, what are these called, Robbie?
They're called Wi-Fi switches.
Wi-Fi switches, yes. So they're basically switches that you can control with the Wi-Fi, and what do? They can turn things on and off, right? What else can they do?
They can turn things on and off, and they can measure things.
Yeah, gotcha. So we got 5 of them. We've got 2 THs and 3 PALs. So what are we going to do with these THs?
Like Like, what are we gonna measure?
Yeah, what do we measure and what are we going to be controlling?
So they can measure temperature and humidity. But
Yeah.
we're only measuring temperature because we're measuring the temperature of the oil and of the water.
Yeah, and then what are we going to be controlling with them?
The pump for the water to go through it, and the fan.
Okay, great. Now these 3 POWs, what do they measure and what are we going to do with them?
So they measure power.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we going to be measuring with them?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be measuring the 3 Bitcoin miners with them.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to control the Bitcoin miners too with
Yes.
switches. All right, cool. So these are called Sonoff. These are a nice cheap brand you can get on pretty much anywhere. I got these on eBay, and they're very easy to hack and put your own custom firmware on there. And we're going to put our custom firmware on there so that we can control them with the home automation system, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Now, in order to put your own firmware on there, you've got to actually control them. You need this little device here. This is a USB to serial, and when you get these, they're usually set at 5 volts. You got to switch them over to 3 volts because that's what the Sonoffs use is 3 volts. Okay. And then I put a pin header on there, and I made this little wire adapter. So in order to connect these ends of the wires up to the Sonoff so we can program it, we need to do some more soldering, which Robbie's going to be doing for us today.
What?
So
I
why
was
don't you
just
go-
enjoying the wind of the fan.
Alright, you go ahead and take the camera. I'm going to open one of these up for you to solder.
I want to open it.
Sure. You can go ahead and open it. Open it up. You want to take it apart too, or you want to see if you can?
I mean, if I
Take
can
the Sonoff apart?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
If I
So
can't, then you'll have to.
Yeah, so you'll need to have a screwdriver and
Whoop! 2 cards flop.
one of these screwdrivers to help get it open. Let's see if I can get one.
I think I see Chinese writing.
Yeah, these are Chinese.
And more.
Okay.
Okay, so do I take off this?
Yeah, take that screw off first.
Save it?
Yeah, definitely want to save it. You're putting it tighter.
Wait, what? Oh.
There you go, counterclockwise. Is it going off?
Yes.
Okay.
You can kind of see when I push down.
Yeah, you need to get it all the way out so it comes completely off. Let me show you a little trick on how to do a screwdriver faster. Oh, you got it. There you go.
Right when you asked me if I want to do, if you want me to show, if you want to show me a trick to do a screwdriver faster, I instantly do the trick.
It's still coming. Keep going.
Yeah, I see
It's a fairly long screw.
Apparently.
Yeah, keep going.
This is taking a very long time.
Yeah, you gotta be patient with these things sometimes.
Oh.
Is it loosen up to turn with your fingers, or probably not yet?
No.
Okay.
I can't even grab it.
Alright, we got a weather warning, so let's go ahead and pause and see what's going on. Alright, we're back. The weather warning was just about some other counties that have a thunderstorm warning, so we're just going to keep an eye on the weather, but it's not
And
for
I
us yet.
finally got the screw out.
Yeah, we got the screw out. Alright, so next you got to pry that open. If you have your little screwdriver, yeah, you do. Okay, go ahead and pry the back off of that. Just be careful not to poke yourself.
Yeet.
Alright.
Come on.
Be careful with it. You can pry it through. Oh, there you go.
Ow.
Alright, don't be hurting yourself.
That kind of hurt.
Alright, cool. So now we've got, if you look in here, we've got 3 screws. So you need to take these 3 screws out as well.
First, off camera, you mentioned to do both sides. I just did one side.
You can try to be a little more gentle when you open those so they don't pop like that. Alright, so you want to get those 3 screws out, or you need me to get them for you?
What 3 screws?
1.
I don't want to do it.
Alright, go for it. you don't need that little screwdriver anymore, so why don't you pass that over this way?
Wait. I need to get this part. Oh,
Don't lose it.
good thing I didn't lose it. It capped.
Alright, put it in here. Then put your screwdriver in here so you don't lose it.
It's not really mine.
Okay. Alright. Now, you can see on here, let me show everybody here.
Okay.
See how we've got these 5, this one has 5. Some of them have 4. You'll notice that some of these switches have 4 and some of them have 5. Let's see if I can get it into focus here.
No.
There we go. And you can see it even says what they're for. You got voltage, you got receive, transmit, and ground, and I'm not sure what the 5th one is for, but we won't be using it.
Let me see.
We're actually just using 4 of the pins.
Wait, where? Where's the 5th one?
Alright, so I'm going to give you 5. Since that one has 5 holes, we'll give you a 5-pin header.
It's like experience and log. That's literally what it says.
Alright, so go ahead and hold this while I get you, I'm going to snap you off 5 pins to put in there. And we're going to use the straight ones for this, because the other one, if you try to do the angle ones, they won't fit inside the container.
Yeah.
So we have to use the straight ones for this.
What are these little capsule things for?
Those are, oops, that came out as 4. Those are LEDs, lights, and the capsules that keep the wires from running into stuff.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's
Here we
this
go.
thing?
Got 5 of those.
What's this thing?
That's a button.
Oh.
Alright, and then remember you need that thing.
Oh yeah, it is a button.
And then you need your tape and all that.
Oh,
All
wait,
right.
what? Wait, what?
Alright, now hold this.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Wait, what?
You're doing soldering.
Wait, what?
5 pins solder onto the board.
I was wondering why. I thought it was 4.
There's 5 on the board, remember?
Oh yeah. How are we gonna put the tape on?
We'll put that on and then put the tape over it.
But this is still sharp.
It doesn't matter. It won't hurt anything.
It'll hurt the tape.
Okay.
I need the tape. Oh. Okay, exactly how do you... Like,
It doesn't really matter. As long as it holds it. That's the only thing that matters.
I don't know how to do this. Can you do
Alright,
it?
hold it.
And your piece of tape is right here. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, you can move the camera back.
Okay. Alright.
The camera's a little bad just because we keep switching cameras.
Okay. So go ahead and do your soldering. This time you'll have 5 to do soldering on.
I've done 4 and 2, so
Now we're on to 5.
yeah.
This is a step up in the difficulty level.
Okay, I need to stand up for this. It's not like close. It's not like close enough to me. Yep, that's good.
Okay. On to
It's a
the next
little
one.
bit too much, but
That's
it's
fine.
good.
Go on to the next one.
It's not hurting anything. Well, it's literally already dry.
Okay, that's probably enough. Okay, on to the next one. Alright, good job. Alright, so we're gonna, yeah, go ahead and clean that off. We're gonna go ahead and solder the rest of these off camera, because I don't want to fill up the whole video with just soldering. But basically we have 4 more to go, and they basically work the same way. I think some of these will have 4 and some of them will have 5. So whatever they are, that's what we'll solder to them. Anything you want to say before you go?
See you soon.
Yep, see you soon, and then we'll program these things after we get them soldered. Hi everybody, we're back. We went and finished soldering these off camera, so all of them are ready to go. And as you can see, what we did is we added those pin headers on there. So Robbie's gonna go ahead and film me hooking this up to the computer. Okay. So basically, what you want to do, of course, is power, of course, is going to go to VCC. Ground is going to go to GND. And what's a little bit weird you have to remember here is TX on the USB serial goes to RX on the Sonos. And then RX goes to TX. So it's basically, you have to flip them. So, now, the other thing too is once you hook up the power, it has to be in program mode. And it's program mode, the button, you hold the button down when it gets power. So the best thing to do is do the red power wire last. So what I usually do is I start with the ground, I put it on, then I take my TX, which I made yellow on mine, and I connect it to RX, and then I take RX, which I made white on my cable, and I connect it to TX, and sometimes it's a little tricky.
White can be any type.
You can use any colors you want on this, but I used black for ground, red for 3 volts, and I used yellow for TX and white for RX. Okay, and then of course the TX I'm connecting to RX on the Sonos, and RX I'm connecting to TX on the Sonos. Alright, the last one is the power. Remember, I have to press the button down while I put the power on.
Why?
Okay, now if you see the lights come on, that means that you didn't have it in programming mode. The lights will not be on when it's in programming mode. Okay, so now we're connected and we're ready. It's ready to receive a new program. It's all hooked up. So we've already downloaded and installed the Arduino IDE. Okay, and basically, let me kind of show you the changes I made on here if you're going to program these. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to your preferences, and the additional boards manager, you put in this URL here, as you can see on the screen.
You can pause the video if you need to.
Yep, this URL needs to go in there. Once you've done that, then you go to Tools, and for your board, you're going to select Generic ESP8266 module. Okay, that'll show up once you've put that boards manager in. Then once that's selected, you kind of go down through here and you do these settings. Go ahead and make sure we can see all these settings so they can set it the same way if they're doing this. Okay. Now obviously this whole thing that we're doing now is only if we're programming the Sonos. If you're on here only doing your oil cooling and you're not actually setting up these Sonos, then you can skip this part of the video.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I really changed from the default settings, if I remember right, is the flash size at 1M, no spiffs. I think that's the only one I actually changed on here.
So you could have paused the video when we were showing it.
Yeah. The other thing too is all the libraries that come with Tasmota, which I downloaded off of GitHub, I put them into the library folder in the Arduino IDE to make sure I have the correct libraries. So once that's all done, you're basically on a screen like this, and you open the sonoff.ino file, and all of these files will automatically open. And the only one you need to edit is over here called My User Config. Click on that, and there's some settings down here which I'm not going to show you. They relate to your username and password for your Wi-Fi. And if you're connecting to MQTT, which we are for our home automation system, you put your username and password for that. I'm not going to show those obviously on the video, but those are down further in the file. And the last thing you need to change is the thing called project. Okay, by default this will say Sonoff. You want this to be a unique name. Every one of your devices needs a different name. We're going to call this
I
one,
want to call it.
we're going to call it TH1601. That's my naming convention. This is a
Aw.
TH16. That's what this device is. And this is number 1. And these will be POW01, POW02, POW03. Okay? That's how we'll name these. So we'll have TH1601, TH1602, POW01, POW02, POW03.
Power 1, Power 2, Power
All right.
3.
Once you made all your changes to your myuserconfig.h, you're going to hit save. And then
Save.
the last thing when you're ready to go is you're going to go to Sketch and you're going to hit upload.
Yeah.
And now it's going to compile, and this is going to take about 12 minutes.
Two and a half years later.
Alright, so it's actually building, or it's finished building, and now it's uploading to the device. You can see the percentage of it's pushing to the device, and if you look over here on the USB serial, it's flashing, it's showing that it's working. We're up at 40%. 40% of it is written. It's writing the program to the Sonoff. Now this goes a lot faster if you're not doing this on a Raspberry Pi like I'm doing here. If you have a decent computer, this will go quite a bit faster. It takes about 12 minutes on the Raspberry Pi 3 to build the Tasmota.
Huh. And this is the most functional Raspberry Pi, right?
Yes.
The best one.
Yeah.
It still takes 12 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm
this
wondering
is-
how
this is
long
a-
the first one would take, like 50 minutes later.
Yeah, it could take a while.
94%?
Alright, it's at
100%.
100%. It should now be done. We should see some blue flashing lights on here, which we do. And so everything was successful. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and flash the other ones off camera, and then we'll test them out. Anything you want to say before we leave?
Bye.
Bye. Hello everybody, we're back.
And we finished these Wi-Fi smart switches off camera.
Yep. And
And
what are we
now
gonna do today?
And now we are going to plug these power cords into the Wi-Fi smart switches to do power.
Okay.
And we have a thermometer
Yep.
to measure the temperature of the room or wherever we're measuring.
Okay.
And then in the background, I have my bedroom light, and we're going to use that to test the power cords.
Okay.
See
Yep.
if they actually work.
Yep. And we've also got the browser up here. We're gonna log into that to see if it's measuring the temperature correctly as well. Okay. So how are we gonna get started here? Let's start with TH1601. That's our temperature one. Let's start with that guy. Let's get these guys out of the way here. Okay. And you're gonna need you need to put these cords through the hole in that first, right?
This way or
part
this
of it.
way?
Yeah, those part of it. So go through the hole, wrong way. Up through the inside. Yep, there you go. You can put one through and then the other. You don't do them at the same time. There you go.
And these are a little sticky because,
Because we use them on another project and have
Yeah.
some tape on it.
yeah, sticky.
But yeah, these are where we're using. Okay, so they're already stripped. You can see they have 3 wires each. Let's describe what these wires are before we get started. The
black is
the line. Yeah.
The
and
white is the neutral, and the green is the ground, or you can call it earth.
Yep, that's correct. Yep, and we have basically 2 sets of those. they're coming from these different ends. So can you tell us what the difference between these ends are?
The difference between these ends are this one is input because it's it's getting things through the wall.
Yep.
And this one is output.
Yep. All right.
Because it's like, yeah.
Yeah, stuff plugs into it essentially.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see our legend. Let's see if we can understand the legend here before we get started.
And the legend is basically how you put. The legend is basically how you put wires together, right?
So we got L output. What does that mean?
L output is the
output?
The black of this one.
Okay. And then we've got 2 grounds. Those are green, right?
Yep.
Then we got L input. What's that?
It is the black cord or the line that goes for the input.
Yep. And then we've got 2 neutrals. Those are the white ones, right?
Yes.
All right. So I think we're ready. Just use this legend to know which plugs those go in, and I'll help you out if you need it.
Why does she know?
Okay. And I will get. Let's see here. We need a good screwdriver. Let's try that one. Basically, you push down on those, and then the cords go right into the hole.
You put the screwdriver right in the middle, and then you push down.
Yep.
That.
All right. So this first one is what? Line output. So figure out which one's output first. So you have to sort of trace the cable back. That one looks like input. So this one's output. Yeah. All right.
So
it's the first one.
So he's holding this so it doesn't like flip.
Yeah, you don't want it flipping on you.
So
we have to push down pretty hard. So
yes.
If you need help, just let me know. I'll help you out here. Just be careful.
Okay, and then you push this into the plastic part. That should be good.
Let it up.
And then how you will know that it is fully in, you can tug on it. You will hear a tiny snap if you're really good at hearing. And also if you're pretty good at noticing the difference, once it goes in, it doesn't this white part doesn't go up all the way.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay. So what do we got next on our legend? What does it say?
The 2 grounds.
2 grounds. Okay, grounds are green.
AKA earths.
Yeah. Okay, let me hold that. Okay, be careful. Watch what you're doing here. Just get in there far and then let it up.
Yep, that's good.
Good. Okay. Got
Now
another earth.
The other earth, AKA ground. This one goes right here. Push that in. Yep.
Okay, good. What's next on our legend?
Now we need the other black. We need the other line.
Yeah, line input. Okay. There's only one left, so you know which one it is.
Yep.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
That's good.
Nice.
Now we need 2 neutrals, I think they're called.
Yep.
Yep, that's good, I think.
Let's see. Is it pulling out? Yeah, it pulls out a little bit. It was pretty good, but you can try again. Just push it in there real far if you can. Okay, let it up. I think that's good. It's in there tight. Okay. Alright, you can twist it around this way underneath if you want. There you go.
Hashtag struggles. Push this down.
Okay. It's looking good. Okay, the only one I'm a little worried about, can you hold that for a second? I'm just going to check them all just to make sure. So you don't want any of, if they're not in there good enough, then it can create problems. I'm just going to check all of them just to make sure. Yeah, they're all in. Yep, this is good. Alright. So now we just got to push that down a little bit. Actually, first thing you want to get is your other piece on the
Can take the camera.
Right, so carefully get that back so you can snap it in there. It takes a little work to make, don't try to force it, just to carefully get it back. Twist things around if you need to.
Still trying to get this.
There you go.
Yep. And you don't have to do what I do, but I like to do this to make sure it's in. Done.
All right. Okay, next. Now push those cables down so you can get that screw in there.
Lid.
Good. Yep.
And
it's a
you're
little
gonna
bit
have
tricky.
to you're gonna have to go down like this.
Okay. Okay. And then use that bigger screwdriver that'll help.
And I'm pretty sure this is turning right.
Clockwise.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. You might have to push it down a little bit while you do it. You don't have to get super tight. Just get it tightened down a bit.
yeah,
Here, I'll
because
go
you're
ahead
not
and
gonna
hold
get
that
it. You're not gonna get it.
Yeah, because those cords are in there now, so it's not going to go all the way down. You just kind of want to get it on there. If you need me to help with you, just let me know.
Yeah, I might need some help. Hold on. Oh.
Okay, you want to hold the camera? I can get it for you. Alright. See what we got here. Yeah, it's going in a little bit sideways, I think, is the problem. Let's see if that'll go down now. It's stripping a little bit, but I think we'll be okay.
Here.
Alright, very good.
Let me
Very good
test
shape
it.
now. Yeah, actually, I think the problem is this black cable's. Oh yeah, we don't want that there.
It's gonna chop it in half.
We don't want it pinching the black cable off.
It's gonna chop it in half.
That would not be good.
Okay,
Side like that.
Still trying to get this.
Yeah, it
A little tricky.
takes a little bit of work, but once you're in there, it'll hold.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Okay, this is getting a little better. Just tighten that up a bit more. Alright, we're in good shape now.
I'm gonna get the camera to focus.
And that a little bit strange in here. Why is that holding up like that?
I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, we may have stripped it out too much. But see.
Could you use like tape to take it back? Take it back.
Just get a little bit tighter, maybe. I think that's good enough. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a give on there. I think it's not in there quite straight, but it's close enough. And we're gonna have this actually under the oil anyway, so it's not going to be a problem with worrying about water getting in there or anything. And probably if you were going to have this, these are meant for indoors anyway. But if you were worried about getting water in here, you'd probably want to put some silicone or some tape or something around there to seal it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we can get the camera focus.
Alrighty. Okay, so next, let's go ahead and plug it in, check and make sure it works. You want to do that, or you want me to?
I'll do it.
Hold the camera. Okay, cool. So let me get your cord here in just a second. Okay, be very careful, because once this is plugged in, it has power. Okay, so just be careful with it. Yep, plug it in. So we don't want to mess around with this too much. Okay, there we go.
Now we need my
And we need to plug
lamp.
this lamp into it.
Moment of truth. Let's see if it works. Nope.
Okay. All right, no, it's not on though.
Oh, it's
So we gotta go here.
Yes.
Turns it on. Go here. Turns it off. Now we do have a problem that Wi-Fi is not connecting. You can see here it's blinking.
Huh?
Now,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wi-Fi is not connecting.
Mhm.
So we're probably too far away from the router. I'm guessing we're in the kind of the opposite room of the house.
Yes.
So we might have to move into another room here. Let's try unplugging it, and then we'll plug it back in and see if it connects second time around. Be careful, not to shock yourself. Okay. All right, go and plug it in.
Nope.
Okay, well, it usually blinks a few times so it gets connected. Just give it a little bit here. Okay, it connected that time. We're connected. Yep. Alright, so now, next thing we're going to do is we need to,
Wow, that lamp gives off pretty good lighting.
Actually, I'm going to need to use Fing, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this a little bit while I look up. I have to use my phone to look up what the IP address of this is. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back in just a second. Okay, we're back. We figured out the address from using Fing, the Fing app on my phone. It will tell you the name of the device. So go ahead and enter it. It turned out to be TH16011758. Okay, so that was the 1758 is actually a unique identifier for the device. So I knew the first part was going to be TH1601, but that second part there's no way to know unless you look on something like Fing.
And
okay.
if you look at the off, if you turn the switch on,
okay,
it'll eventually go on in
on.
bold.
Yep.
And then when you press it off, it goes off.
Yep, that's how it works. You can also hit the toggle button. Go ahead and click on toggle.
Okay.
Yep, and toggle again. All right, don't do that. You're gonna burn out your light. All right, let's go. So right now it says it's a Sonoff Basic, which it is not. So we need to configure it. So go ahead and go to Configuration, and then Configure Module. Okay. So in the drop down, we're looking for a TH or TH16, whichever one is listed. Yeah. Like that. Sonoff TH. There it is.
Where?
Go up TH. Yep.
Here.
Yep. And then on sensor GPIO 14. That. I can't remember the name. Scroll down. It's like D something. Just scroll down. Keep going. Keep going. I think it's near the bottom. Keep going. I'll recognize it when I see it. Yeah, DH. Oh, sorry. Or no, DS18X20. I believe is the correct one here. Okay. Hit save. Okay. Device will restart. Okay. So what you need to do now is you need to plug in this thermometer.
Where do I plug
So
in?
let's before we do that, can you hold this? I'm gonna unplug it before we plug anything into it. 'Cause it's kind of dangerous to have it plugged in when you're messing around with it. Okay. All right. So go ahead and plug it into this this port here.
Like this. I'll try to get it out of the bag.
Okay.
Okay, so I plug it in. Right.
Yeah. Put it in nice and good so it goes right up against the plastic. Good. Okay. All right. We'll put that up where you can see where it is so we can test it. Okay. All right. So now when you plug it in, go ahead and go ahead and hold the camera. I'll go ahead and plug it back in here. Okay. Let's see if it connects. Hopefully this again. We have low signal strength out over here. Oh, okay, it gets connected. Go ahead and refresh
Main menu.
yeah, go ahead and open a new tab. Open the new tab and close that one, and then type in the address again. Okay. All right, so this is the TH model. For some reason, it's not reading the input. So go ahead and go to configuration. Maybe we put the wrong. Go on GPIO. Oh yeah, it didn't actually save it. So go to the DX, whatever it was again. DS18X20. Okay, it's gonna restart. Hopefully this time it'll save it. Okay. Okay, showing us the TH model. You go to configuration, configure module, and saved. Okay, good. Go back to configuration. Okay, now we want to go to
Reset configuration. No.
go to configure logging.
Where? Oh.
Okay, and where it says telemetry period 300, I'll put that at 30. That will refresh the value every 30 seconds. So go ahead and go to configure other, make sure it actually saved it. Okay, go back to configuration. logging, sorry. It wasn't configured earlier. Yeah, hit the save button. Okay. Alrighty, so now I think everything is set up. I'm not sure why it's not showing my temperature though. It should be showing it.
How do you get out of the configuration thing?
Here, just a second. Let me, can you hold the camera for a sec? I may have picked the wrong. Let's go back. Let's try, reboot is there. I guess you just unplug it. Right, let me try,
I saw a reboot in the main menu.
maybe I picked the wrong. It's 18. What was the other?
Go up.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
It was up. The other one was up.
This is the one that has the humidity on it. Let's see here. It could be this. It could be this thermometer is broken as well. That's a possibility.
What are you looking for?
I'm just seeing if there's anything else in here that looks similar to that.
DHT11?
Try. I don't think that's it though. I'm pretty sure it's not. We'll see. Yeah, see, this one's looking for temperature and humidity signal. It's not getting it. I'm pretty sure it's the. I'm pretty sure it's the. This one. Actually, I think now that I remember that probably there was a configuration that we had to set whenever we program the device to tell it to use that, to tell it to allow us to use that. I think actually we'll have to reprogram these. I'll go ahead and give that a shot, and if it works, we'll come back in a sec.
Bye.
Okay, we figured out the problem was with that particular thermometer was broken. That's what happens, I guess, when you get cheap stuff from China. We have another one that we plugged in, and you can see that it's correctly measuring the temperature. Robbie's holding it in his hand, he's warming it up, and the temperature is going up. If you go ahead and release it, let's just see if it goes back down. Just go ahead and set it on the table near that cold drink there. And we'll see if it goes down here. Temperature's dropping. There it goes. So it does appear to be working. We'll just have to make sure we have 2 of those thermometers that work, because that's all we need for this particular project. I think I have another one that can dig up somewhere. I think I had an extra one, so if not, I'll have to order some more of them. But everything seems to be working. So I think that's all we're going to do for this video. We're actually going to make this a 2-part video. So in the next part, we're actually going to start building out the aquarium and the copper tubing and all that part. So basically building it out. Now we've got everything programmed here. We're ready to start putting it all together. You have anything you want to say before we end this video?
See you guys in part 2.
See you in part 2. Bye.